London's been burying their dead for 2,000 years in the heart of London. One of the most magnificent cemeteries in this great city is located at Tower Hamlets Cemetery, which is rife with natural beauty.
Now, I guess if I was to summarise Tower Hamlets Cemetery Park, I guess there'd be 4 words I'd use, 3 or 4 words, and those 3 or 4 words would be wildlife, people, education and heritage. My name's Kenneth Greenway. I'm the liaison officer for the Friends of Tower Hamlets Cemetery Park. I've worked here since 2002. I was the only member of staff for 10 years up until November of 2012. In terms of very short history, we're one of London's magnificent 7 cemeteries, opened by an Act of Parliament in response to the London-wide burial crisis of the early 19th century. We were the last of the 7 to open in 1841, privately ran. We closed as a cemetery and became a public park by Act of Parliament in 1966. That's what we've been ever since. We, the Friends, look after the park every day on behalf of the London Borough of Tower Hamlets, have done formally through a service level agreement since about 2004, so quite a long time. We work with 3,000 volunteers a year to manage the park across our 3 themes of wildlife, people and education. We're the only woodland in this borough, we're the most urban woodland in London, we're a designated local nature reserve and a site of metropolitan importance for nature conservation. Nature, I guess, is the main theme for the cemetery park. Because we're a closed cemetery, we don't have the legal obligations or the expectations to be managed as such. We're actually legally a public park and a local nature reserve. So the heritage here has no protection, but it's important. Because it has no protection, we give value to everything else that's around it by making the best of what we have. Well-structured woodland, wildflower-rich grasslands, interesting events. It protects the heritage. So for those people who are decision makers or have influence in the borough, we make sure that people are valuing what we offer. What I love most about the cemetery park is that it's dynamic. It changes. I mean, for me, I love nature. I love everything to do with the outdoors, and we manage for that very well here. And so when wandering around every day through the months and the year, there's always something to catch the eye, to get you excited. You know, you don't know what you're going to see when you come around the corner, even when you've worked somewhere as long as I have, 10 years. There's still things that, like, wow, I wouldn't expected that. And a great example is last week. So we're mid-February, we have a sunny day, 10 o'clock in the morning, red admiral butterfly. Now, I might expect to see a red admiral butterfly on a warm, sunny February day, but not in the morning. So there's those lovely little joys which really show that nature's dynamic. It's exciting, it changes, and so that's what I love the most. But I like the fact that we can celebrate both the dynamic way nature is and the history, and reflect the diversity of East London, that this is where people started their lives. They could have come from all places in the 4 corners of the world, but because of the docks, and East London's always been the landing place for immigrants, we can share that story here, we can reflect that story here, and that's something that we can celebrate as a message generally, because obviously to recognise differences and diversity is a good thing, and we can share that a lot here through both the nature and the heritage. Well, for Tower Hamlets Cemetery Park, I see a very bright and exciting future. We've now got the old lodge, and so that's going to provide lots of new opportunities for the Friends and local residents and park users. So, world's our oyster with that. We've just got to get it in a good state to offer to people. Us as a charity growing in staff and offering more. So at the moment we're a complement of 2. We'd like to be 3 or 4. We've got a very successful sort of training agenda that we want to really go crazy on. We've had some great responses to our biodiversity training and development of green space on housing estates around the park. So that's something we want to invest more time in. So for us, I guess it's pushing our influence out more beyond the cemetery park, as well as just having more capacity within it.